Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's time for Opposition Uncovered. I'm going to be previewing West Ham United versus Watford this coming Friday. It's one of those six-pointer games, particularly for West Ham, because a lot is on the line here. I'm recording this actually before the Villa and Bournemouth games, so I don't know the results of them yet. It's too early to tell. However, there are two ways to look at this. If Villa and Bournemouth lose and Watford and West Ham get a point, that is still good because it puts Villa and Bournemouth within one defeat of relegation. A win for West Ham could potentially see them move up to 15th and cause Brighton to drop a place. So a win for West Ham would be almost certainly survival confirmed. Having said that, it's not going to be easy, as we know. Watford have won their last two games, whilst West Ham have picked up form and are starting to play some really good football. Watford's season has been largely disappointing, and they are, as I mentioned earlier and as I hinted at, they are in a very serious relegation battle. However, they have started to pick things up a little bit and won their last two games, beating Norwich City 2-1 and also winning 2-1 against Newcastle United. I know that they beat Newcastle, but the thing was, the fashion of that win was really, really jammy. They won the game thanks to two penalties from Troy Deeney. None of their goals came from open play. So I'm not saying that it was a bad thing that they got 3 points. I'm not slating them for winning, but I'm slating the manner of that win. The other thing that is really been bad for Watford is the fact they've been through 3 managers this season. Javi Gracia was fired, Quique Sanchez-Flores returned to the club for a short period of time before he was sacked, and then Nigel Pearson came in, who is currently their manager. I have to say, Pearson is a proper manager. I'd go as far as saying that, and if anyone knows anything about survival, you could argue it's him. I remember when Leicester were bottom of the league in the 2014-15 season, won their last few remaining games, and he kept them up. Season after that, Leicester won the Premier League, but not with Pearson in charge. So he knows how to keep teams up in the Premier League. He knows a thing or two about survival, and he is trying to work his magic with Watford. The last time we met Watford, it was very early on in the season. West Ham got a 3-1 win at Vicarage Road. Mark Noble scored an early penalty, and Sebastian Haller got his first 2 goals for West Ham, one of which was an overhead kick. The first player that I see as an immediate threat to West Ham's defence is the winger Ismaila Sarr. He joined Watford for a club record fee of around £30 million from Rennes in France. And in the second half of the season in particular, he's been really good. He scored twice and got an assist in the 3-0 surprise win over Liverpool back in February. And he's known for his pace. Now, if Nigel Pearson's watching this video, please do not listen to this advice. But I have this feeling that Sarr is going to be deliberately marked up against Aaron Cresswell for Friday's game. Because Watford will probably pinpoint Cresswell's flaws and deliberately put a pacey player up against Cresswell. Fredericks would be a no-no because Fredericks is fast, just like Sarr. But Cresswell will cause problems if he's marked up against Sarr. I don't think he stands a chance against him. Sarr has been a very instrumental part of the team's rebuild, and he's a key part of their midfield. The second player I'm going to talk about is a long-serving striker and club captain Troy Deeney. Deeney celebrates 10 years at Watford this year, having joined from Walsall in 2010. Deeney has been giving fans a lot of memorable moments, I think, over the years. I remember the 2013 playoff semi-final against Leicester when Almunia saved the penalty. Watford went down the other end and Deeney scored in the very last few seconds to send Watford to the playoff final. So that's just one of the many memories that he's created for Watford fans. As I mentioned earlier, he scored those 2 penalties against Newcastle United to add to his goal tally. He has 8 goals this season. He is a clinical striker, he is their main man, and he and Sarr are having to play in place of Gerard Deulofeu, who was a big loss for Watford with his injury. So both of them have stepped up to the task of filling in for the Spaniard. The third player I'm going to talk about is a Premier League long-serving goalkeeper, and that is Ben Foster. Ben Foster's no stranger to Watford. He played for them in the 2005-06 season and the 06-07 season, where he was managed by Adi Boothroyd, and he was on loan from Manchester United. Foster then joined Birmingham City and West Bromwich Albion, and he still lives in that area today, and he rejoined Watford on a permanent deal in 2018. He's made 34 appearances this season for the Hornets, and is considered a fan favourite. For a player who played for West Ham United and Watford, I've gone with Scottish defender Malky Mackay. Mackay played for West Ham in the 2004-05 season, having joined from Norwich City. And in 2005, he joined Watford. He spent 3 years at Vicarage Road. After he retired, he became a coach at Watford and then the manager. And interestingly enough, he replaced Brendan Rodgers and had Sean Dyche as an assistant manager. So, look where those two are now. You know, it's a small world. Mackay left Watford to become Cardiff City manager in 2011, and he got the Bluebirds promoted to the Premier League in 2013. His time as a Premier League manager was very short-lived, and he had a few problems with owner Vincent Tan, because, well, Tan signed players without consulting Mackay, and Tan was also very critical of Mackay's signings as well. Mackay was sacked as Cardiff manager in December 2013, and he took a good 11 months out of the game. He became Wigan Athletic manager in late 2014, but was only in charge for a few months. He couldn't save Wigan from relegation. He now works for the Scottish Football Association. It's a tough one. I want to say a West Ham win, or, if results go either team's way, very, very least, a draw. Because a draw would help both teams out. Mathematically and points-wise, it would help both teams out. A West Ham win, I think it's very, very doable. We've already beaten Watford once this season. We're on a good run of form. Watford have won the last 2 games, but it wasn't a serious test. They had Norwich and Newcastle, and the Newcastle game they won from 2 penalties. So it'll be interesting to see how they do from open play. I really hope that West Ham can keep up this momentum, playing some good football, liking the style, liking the statements of intent. I think West Ham can get this big 3 points. And a big 3 points would make a very happy James and very happy West Ham fans. As per usual, thank you very much for tuning into Opposition Uncovered. I'll hope to get my review of the Watford game done on Saturday and hopefully get it uploaded actually for Sunday, because as soon as the game's done on Friday, I have to go straight to work. I'll see what I can do, but like I said before, I try as much as I can to get it done as quickly as possible. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content. Can't wait to see you all soon. Thanks very much for watching. Take care.